I'm Father Ryan Maher, and I have the privilege of being the president of Scranton Prep. I've been involved in the project of Jesuit education for more than 25 years, both at the higher ed level and at the secondary level. Scranton Prep is part of a living network of hundreds of Jesuit high schools around the globe, bound together by a common mission, helping parents raise their children to become the men and women they were created to be. And we're very good at it. We've had lots of practice across 5 centuries. One of the habits of being that holds these schools together is that we are called to constant reflection on all sorts of questions, including the very important question, what are we doing? And why are we doing it? The Jesuit educators in the United States came together to answer that question several decades ago, and they gathered from Jesuit high schools from coast to coast, from Canada to Mexico, and they sat down for days to hammer that out. And they found that they needed a way to kind of measure, how is this project going? And they came up with 5 descriptors of the ideal graduate of a Jesuit high school at graduation. It's called the profile of the graduate at graduation, the grad at grad. And to this day, it's an important and living part of Jesuit education around the world and here at Scranton Prep. The 5 descriptors of the ideal graduate of Scranton Prep on the day of his or her graduation are these: intellectually competent, open to growth, religious, loving, committed to doing justice. So we hope that the graduate of Scranton Prep will, of course, be intellectually competent, open to growth, religious, and loving, and that all of that will issue in action on behalf of those who need our action. The first descriptor is intellectually competent. Scranton Prep hopes to graduate students who are well-versed in a wide variety of subjects, who have sharpened their minds in all sorts of different areas of human knowledge and ways of human knowing. This sort of intellectual competence prepares our students well for college and life beyond. We have decades of experience that tell us that that is true. Jesuit education in general, and in particular here at Scranton Prep, is of course interested in the development and the formation of the human mind. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. We're interested in the development and the formation of the human being. The second descriptor, to take a smart kid who is intellectually competent and willing to become even more so, and ask him or her to continue that growth and development. To graduate a young man or young woman who can say, I know a lot, but there's still a lot that I don't know, and I'm open to learning what I don't know. It's that insight that gives birth to the second descriptor, open to growth. And that growth is both intellectual, kind of an intellectual humility that says, I still have a lot to learn, but is also deeper and broader than that. It's a human openness to growth. I know that I am intellectually and humanly a work in progress, and I'm willing to take responsibility for myself in that project. What is the meaning of my life? Why am I here? Why are we here? And related to that, the profound question, is there a God? And if there is, can I know that God? And if I can, what difference does that make in my life? These are profound human questions that are part of every human life. And in Jesuit schools, we claim to educate the whole person, and we do. And you cannot educate the whole person without addressing the religious dimension of the human being. And that gives rise to the third descriptor. We hope that our graduates will be religious, in the sense that they will be committed to wrestling with these questions of meaning in their own minds and hearts, and along with other people committed to the same process of understanding together what does it mean for us to be human before the reality of God. God is love. And one of the ways that we are most profoundly made in the image and likeness of God is in our ability to love. The fourth descriptor, a particularly Catholic and Christian descriptor. And it's the one of which I am most proud, to be honest, and which I think Jesuit education is most proud, because it sets us apart. And it takes some daring to say this. We hope that our graduates, on the day of their graduation, will be men and women who are loving. Loving is the fourth descriptor. A particular kind of human being with a particular kind of stance in the world that is grounded in love for themselves, for the people in their family, for the people in their city, and honestly, for all of humanity. We want our graduates to be intellectually competent, open to growth, religious, and loving. If we were to stop there, that's a remarkable undertaking, but Jesuit education, Scranton Prep education, insists that we go a step farther. We come to the most important question, a fundamental Jesuit question. What kind of life and career are you going to form with the foundation we have given you? And our hope is embodied in our fifth descriptor of what we hope for in the ideal grad at grad. And it's this: committed to doing justice. Our answer is that a human life with all of these blessings of family, of intellect, of an education like that available at Scranton Prep, all of that is given to a young person so that he or she can live a life that makes a difference in the life of the poor and the forgotten, the marginalized and the abandoned. All of those who are kicked to the curb in the world should be able to look to our graduates as defenders, as people thinking of them and acting on their behalf. At the end of their time here at Scranton Prep, after we've done the best we can to form the grad at grad, we leave them with a simple message that we inherit from St. Ignatius, who said this to the early Jesuits as he scattered them from Rome across the globe. Go forth and set the world on fire.